What's going on, everyone? Today we're back in with another NFL video. Today we got a Hard Knocks video, which is kind of like a series that they do with shows like just different players and different people in the NFL. This one is called Bob Wylie, and he is the Chicago Browns offensive line coach. Now, I've never watched this one before, but all the comments in one of my videos that I did, NFL Biggest Hits videos, were saying I should react to this. It's absolutely hilarious. And yeah, I'll just basically show the contrast between the American coaches and the European coaches. This one's going to be absolutely hilarious. You know, I saw he was a pretty big guy, so let's get straight to it, man. Hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoy. And yeah, I watch a lot of NFL, but I don't really know much about the coaches, you know, honestly. So this one should be a bit of an eye-opener. Let's go.
The following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
Cool. HBO.
We got stretch. Everybody get ready for stretch. This is my favorite part, is stretch. I get to sit down for 10 minutes.
Alright, guys, so obviously he's against stretching, which is pretty funny. I don't really stretch that much either. Personally, I don't think it's super necessary. Especially before exercise. Definitely stretching is essential, like yoga and this kind of stuff. Maybe after, or when you're away from the exercise, but I don't think stretching is too essential. But a lot of coaches would say it is essential. Just gets you warmed up. As long as you're warmed up, you're fine, right?
Stretch. This is my favorite part, is stretch. I get to sit down for 10 minutes.
Meet Bob Wylie,
Damn,
the Browns offensive line coach.
Stretch. I'd rather watch a plant grow than stretch. How'd they play football in 1946 when there was no music?
Oh, that's actually really funny. This guy's a really... You know what's funny? Like, people always make fun of guys like this because they say stupid stuff, because they're, let's say, old school or whatever. But he's saying, how did they play football in the 1920s when they had no music? So obviously they're listening to like cool rap music while they're training, which is actually a good enhancer of, it's a good enhancer of the performance, but like you don't have music during the game, so
Stretch. I'd rather watch a plant grow than stretch. How'd they play football in 1946 when there was no music? How'd those guys do that? What idiot?
That's a good point.
They get the Glenn Miller band, and so they can have music. They put the Glenn Miller band in the stands and play music.
it's kind of hilarious that like these guys are really overweight, but obviously they must have played football at some time, like American football or something, maybe. I don't really know much about them, but obviously this guy's quite overweight, but it doesn't really matter because the coaches here in Europe, guys, especially Jose Mourinho and all these famous coaches, Arsene Wenger, all these coaches are already slim guys, but it's because football is a different sport, right? You have to be like a slim person to play football.
Good point.
Some things that we do are good. Some of the old things may be still better. Stretch is way overrated. Did you know World War I, World War II, all those guys that fought in that war, right? They did push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups, climbed the rope and ran. But none of this fancy shit, okay? Right? And they won 2 world wars.
Dude, that's an amazing philosophy. I've never even heard someone speak like that. He said, all this new age stuff is complete BS. I kind of agree with that because I'm a personal trainer. I have about 8 clients right now. And I've been training for like the last 10, 11 years. But all this new stuff, over the last 10 years of training, every single year there's a new thing. 5-minute abs, or if there's like an ab trainer, there's always a new type of technology that makes it quote unquote easier to work out, or make the workouts more efficient, let's say, or more quality workouts. But that's not really the case, guys. You don't really need high technical stuff. Just do bench press, squats, push-ups, sit-ups, like do the body weight exercises along with some weights, and like you don't really need much else to build muscle. But if you're playing a big sport like NFL, do you even need to do weights? I mean, probably, because you're like hitting into people. But I've heard Tom Brady and all these different players say that like you shouldn't even do weights. You should just do like a lot of body weight exercises. Try and be like as flexible as possible. Try and be like as strong, like more so of an anatomic strength rather than just like a bench press muscular strength, if that makes sense. So it's kind of funny. He said all these guys, we won World War II and World War I just with sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, and running. It's actually, it's a funny philosophy, nowadays hearing that from somebody that's old school like this guy, it's a funny philosophy, but definitely, yeah, it's definitely unique, guys. But nowadays, everybody wants the easier way, right? And I apologize if my voice sounds weird. I'm a little bit went out drinking last night.
2 world wars by doing jumping jacks, push-ups, and sit-ups. Yeah. 2 world wars. You think they were worried when they're running across Normandy about fucking stretching? Are you kidding me?
A few people might have pulled a hammy.
Well, let me see. Give me my rubber band so I can stretch to run across that fucking beach. You gotta be kidding me. Sit!
That's hilarious.
Grab your balls. Wrong. All wrong. Sit! Short steps. Short steps are better than long steps. That's the only time in your life you're gonna hear short is better than long. Sit! 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 Sit!
Dude, this guy's stomach, this guy's not even doing sit-ups. His stomach is like a life of its own, bro. What the hell?
Do it again, my fault. Here we go. I'm not a quarterback. Obviously, you can tell.
Wylie is like no other. An amateur magician, he always has a trick up his sleeve. Style, he drives a white Maserati.
Nice.
And of course, there's the zoology.
So he's obviously a humble guy. He just drives in a regular car. He's talking about how, like, you don't need anything elaborate. Guy, I kind of like guys like this because, you know, I see, like, trainers and stuff, and, like, a lot of the trainers are, like, on steroids. They're on, like, all this stuff, and they're, like, trying to sell you new supplements, and, oh, eat this, take this, do this. It's like, you don't need any of that shit, guys. Just eat steak all day, maybe drink some milk, eggs, and just work out hard as you can. You will make better gains than 99% of people that just do all this technical stuff. I'm telling you right now, you will.
Hey! Hey! Take a look. I got something new for you guys.
What do you say? Zoology, because they're friggin' they're beasts, guys. They're beasts.
Right now, you heard me talk about demeanor, right? The demeanor and the posture. Okay, how you have to play with your knees bent on your insteps. You've heard about the hogs, how he has a nice wide base. You ever try to knock over an Arkansas hog? Right, you can't knock them over. They got tremendous center of gravity. They have tremendous balance, okay? That's what we're trying to do with you. The same thing with the rhinoceros. Look at the guy's base, right? That guy, you're not going to knock this guy over, and he's not going to end up on the ground, all right? He has a great base, and he keeps his center of gravity down the middle of the body. But the best...
That's hilarious, guys. He said you're not going to be able to knock him over.
Offensive linemen, the best guys are these guys, okay? They run with their knees bent, right? They have long arms. Look at that. Look at, it kind of looks like my ex-mother-in-law right there. Look at that son of a gun.
Dude, that guy's legendary. So what did he say? He said the best thing to do is have a low center of gravity, like this rhino, and a gorilla and a rhino are the two best kind of animals to replicate when you're playing, because you want a low center of gravity. I remember I was in school and I was talking to my coach. I was talking to my Irish teacher, actually. He was an Irish teacher. He was like, "Oh, Chris, you play." I was like, "Sir," I was like, "How does it feel to be really short and you can't play any sports or whatever? You're like this little short guy." And he was like, "Yeah, well, you're just a big lanky string of piss or whatever." He said, your center of balance is terrible. And I was like, that's actually a good point. The taller you are, the harder it is to have a good center of gravity balance on the floor, guys. You know what I mean? Because you're easy to push over. Absolutely legendary, guys. Wylie, completely different coach than anything I've ever heard here in Europe. But yeah, cool perspective. Leave in the comments down below other coaches I should react to, other NFL things I should react to as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.